Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Radman Manufacturing's Tipping Point podcast. Today's guests are pretty amazing guests. They're not in the gas and welding industry at all, but you may know of them. How they got onto this podcast is a very long story that we'll save for another time. But our guests today are Austin Burke and Lexy Burke. Austin Burke, you've probably heard some of his songs. He's a country music singer with over 200 million streams on Spotify. And Lexy Burke is known for her serial tipping TikTok, which has over 2 million followers, where she's given back over $300,000 around the United States. She also has two businesses that have just gone bonkers over the past 2 years and is expanding within different markets. So she'll be talking about those on this podcast. And this is the story of how they got to where they are. Enjoy. First of all, welcome in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lexy and Austin Burke. You guys are like the power couple. Both of you guys are like entrepreneurs doing your own thing. So you just decided to follow your dreams and become a country music star.
Yeah, pretty much. So we both met in Santa Barbara, and basically I was out there playing baseball. She was out there because
Just needed something new. So I was like, I'm going to California. I went to high school in Colorado and I love film. And so I was like, I don't know, I like California, but I wanted to attempt college. So I went to
She's
Santa
trying to
Barbara
live that
State College.
That's where I was supposed to go.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I was
Why?
also I'm gonna attempt college thing.
Yes.
And I was supposed to go there. My dad even like we went on a tour of the campus, and it's like a city college.
City college,
City
right?
college.
And it's
then
beautiful. It's like, wait,
gorgeous.
what?
It's like,
Yeah.
how is this not the state college? But my dad like kept buying like Santa Barbara City College shirts. And so now
SBCC.
yeah. So I have like 1,000 of them. And
No
he like wears them
way.
like a proud father, but like I never went there.
He had the
So-
SBCC dad like
Yeah.
bumper stickers. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, that's so okay, cool.
Yeah, and that football field, it
Oh,
overlooks the ocean.
yes.
It's so beautiful. I think
It's
it's
gorgeous.
kind of a little prettier than like the
The
main
actual
state.
yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
yeah, so we were in the
Anyways,
same dorm.
that's
No, we were in the
crazy.
same dorm, and
Whoa.
basically I know this is about me, but I'll get there. But I met her literally like first week of college and was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a girlfriend. I want to be single in college. And she said the same thing. I'm gonna be
I'm gonna
single.
be bad.
and-
I'm gonna be bad.
Yeah, and then we just met each other first week and kind of were inseparable. And fast forward, she moved to LA first semester, so I was going down there quite a bit. And then she broke up with me like before the summer, and
Lexy.
there was a
I was
lot.
young and wild and free.
I'm like going pretty quick through this story, but I kind of lost my love for baseball, and I was doing music quite a bit. I was taking some music classes at Santa Barbara City College, and I just fell in love. I knew that's what made me happy. So once she broke up with me, I went back to San Diego that summer, and I worked at a surf shop, and
Whoa.
that's where I got my first job. So I just went back there, and I saved up money and basically was like, I'm just going to move to Nashville. I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't know I'd ever been to the South. I just loved country music, and
Yeah.
and I love the storytelling. So
Yeah.
basically packed up and moved.
So you were in school for like you were playing baseball.
I was
Like, you
playing
thought
baseball.
that was your career.
Yeah, I was
And
a
then-
poli sci major.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, this is wild. And you're both in storytelling because
Pretty
in
much.
one way.
Yeah. So
Wow.
then, so I'm out in Nashville, and I was at the gym one day. I'll never forget. And I get this text, and hey, I have some of your stuff. Where do you want me to send it? And I was like, she wants me back.
Yeah.
Well, and two, I think even just with timing, looking back, I remember he just wasn't in a healthy place. And when you're so young, I don't want to say unattractive when you're trying so hard, when you have your goal or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you're
I didn't know
looking
what I
for.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
And not like he had to know everything at 18, but it was just a depressing vibe. And then finally, once he was out and doing something for him, I was really proud of him, and it was cool and attractive.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
never want to
so-
be the mom in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or dad, whatever.
And phases like that may come down the road when you're married and people go through their seasons, but right away in the first year, it was like a little whoa.
Yeah. So like I'm in my first or second month of Nashville, and I'm like, I'm gonna be single. I'm gonna chase this dream, and then we get back together. So you see a
Yeah.
trend, right? So we were long distance for what was it, like 6 years?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
So-
put the long and long distance. It was crazy.
Yeah. So you can fill in like in that. So you're in LA. Start there.
Yeah, so I was in LA and doing acting school and I loved it, but like I would show up for a student film audition and be like, 100 blonde girls just for a
Aw.
student film. And
Wow.
for Lexy, which it was an honor, but it's still a student film and it was
Yeah.
very overwhelming, but I loved it and I just loved film and cinema. And so I started a YouTube channel out there just to film my own like skits with my acting class friends and
Yeah.
peers. And then I started really loving like the details of videography. And so things would be overexposed and I'd be annoyed about it and want to do better. And so I started just wanting to film them, which was really hard to be filming and be on the other side. So I was like, I should go back to school and go to film school. I just felt like I should do that. And
Yeah.
I did pageants back in the day. So I had a little
Whoa.
scholarship at a school in St. Louis randomly. And so I was like, I'm not moving all the way to Nashville, but it was like halfway instead of a 4-hour flight to see each other. It was going to be an hour flight to see each other. And I was
Yep.
like, I'm going to go do that, finish college and all that good stuff. And so
Shout out Lindenwood University.
shout out Lindenwood, LU for life. So I went there, finished within 2 years, and I didn't really go to school, but I took like 30 credit hours. It was insane because I just wanted to get done and I loved it. Got a film degree and then went to Nashville and started filming all of his stuff, all of his friends' stuff, and like
Wow.
lyric videos, low budget music videos, assisting on things and all that stuff. Then the pandemic hit and all work was out because all of my clients were out of shows and income. So I just started posting on TikTok and
Yeah.
then here we are. It's crazy.
And you don't just have the TikTok fame. Also, you have what, like 1.2 million followers on TikTok or something.
1.9.
Whoa, oh, I'm way off. Whoa.
Yeah.
Those points matter.
Crazy.
And Austin, you have like around 1 million.
Almost
He's
there.
so close.
Almost
He's
there.
So close.
Shoot, we might even get there this weekend. Who
Oh,
knows?
let's go.
We just got to get to dancing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get some-
That's what people love these days. But you have the Bachelorette like Airbnb
Yeah.
run, which I would love for you to talk about. And then also the Burlesque Cowboys. I am totally butchering the name of that.
Ranch Hands Cowboy Last Canoe, you're
Yes.
on it. Yeah. So that was crazy too, because one of my first viral videos was our Airbnb. We took all of our wedding money. We got like, what, $7,000 as gift money, which is amazing. But we're
Mhm.
like, what do we do with this money? Because we already were going on a honeymoon. And so we flipped our house. We painted it all pink and decided we were going to rent it out on the weekends for extra income because this was right before the pandemic. So he was going to be on the road every weekend.
Yeah.
So we're like, that will work great. And so, and Nashville's like Bachelorette capital of the world. And so we flipped it, painted it, spent like every dime in our bank account to make it somewhat cute.
Yeah.
And then we had the tornado hit our first weekend of bookings
my God.
in Nashville. So we had to cancel that. And
It
then
was
the
in our neighborhood. Like,
was in
literally,
our-
the
like,
neighbors across the street.
were
their
taken
houses
out.
were
It
gone.
was horrible
that's
and so
horrible.
sad, but we were so lucky that the house was still there. And then the following week, it was like on the news, we're shutting down for a few weeks of pandemic. And so come pandemic and I'm bored and we've got this really cute house. I just went over there and filmed a TikTok and it went bonkers. And then we started getting people who were eloping still coming out to celebrate
Yeah.
their best friend from college or whatever.
Right.
So during the pandemic, we low-key still got booked, which was such a
Wow.
blessing.
Yeah.
And we've been booked for like the past 2 years. It's been crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
This is year 3 and
Fully
full.
booked.
Yeah, I would say there's a couple weekends, but fully booked for 2023. But yeah, I think we've both seen the power of TikTok and just the power of having an idea and following through with it. And that's the biggest thing I see with even just, I don't know, that our generation, just there's a lot of people that are dreamers. There's not a
Mhm.
lot of people that actually follow through with their dreams. And like the people that do, it's like, it's inspiring to us. So we
Mhm.
look up to people that are like actually making stuff happen. And even hearing about on the way over just about your podcast and like wanting to like this is
Yeah.
incredible. Like we've
Yeah,
done some
this is
podcasts.
cool.
This is a
We have
great
so
setup.
many,
Like
yeah, I think we all know somebody who started a podcast,
no,
but
this
not
is
like
awesome.
this.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really supportive, which is awesome. But going back to your comment about how our generation will say that they want to do something, they dream about something, they don't do it. Do you think that's a little bit because everyone's always watching us? We're always posting things on social media and people are
Mhm.
really afraid of what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
Or at least I guess this is kind of what I'm just thinking
Yeah.
out loud. But
It's
when you
interesting.
yeah, but then when someone does something that's
Yeah.
authentic and themselves, it just blows up because people want that connection and want to see authenticity.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have a lot of friends that just don't post anything because they're like, oh, no one's going to want to see what I'm doing, or
Yeah.
that's too personal.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, I think you just got to think of it beyond your circle. Of course, your best friends are going to tell you during wine, "Go for it, girl."
Yeah.
And then they're like the last ones to comment on a photo like a day later, or a post you post because
Yes.
everyone's busy. So you just got to think if you've got to believe in it enough to go all out and then think beyond your circle because when you're posting it and it goes viral, you have no idea who's going to see it. Joe Schmo, somebody who's never planning a bachelorette party will still see it and comment and be like, wow, this is so cool.
Yeah.
I love Mean Girls. We have a Mean Girls themed room. Or
Yes.
like somebody can relate to whatever business, or they have a friend, or they'll share it to somebody even if it doesn't relate to them. So I think it's hard knowing that your closest people are going to see it. And if it doesn't blow up like immediately, and it doesn't have to, just know you've got to get past that first, your inner
Yeah.
circle. When you say, you've got to not even think about them.
Yeah, and you can't do things to be rich or famous. You just have to do them because you love them. I was actually telling my little sister this the other day, and we were sitting at lunch, and the waitress brought our check, and there was a pink pen sitting there. And so I used this example of the pink pen, and she, I guess, now has told all her friends this theory of the pink pen. So the pink pen is this: you can do whatever you want in life. If you want to sell pink pens, sell pink pens, but you have to know what you want to do first. For me, I just knew I didn't want to play baseball. It was a passion. I just wanted to do music. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I didn't know when. I didn't
Wow.
know where I would go. I just knew that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so all you can do is create the best pink pen that you can possibly create,
Yeah.
and hope that other people want to use that pen, right? Or
Yeah.
are inspired. And then beyond that, you also have to surround yourself with people that believe in that pink pen, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like people
Right.
that want to support that dream of yours. And so that's what I've done in my career, and that's what Lexi's done. And now together we're supporting each other in these ideas. And it's been
Yeah.
really cool to have a partner and somebody that is like, because everything is so up and down,
Yeah.
especially the last couple of years. And to
Totally.
have somebody that's like, when I'm super down, bring me up, and
Yeah.
she's super down,
Yeah.
bring her up, and then when I'm too high, she's like, take out the
Hey,
trash.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's been really cool to have her, and we're just trying to navigate life together now. So it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm gonna put a big neon pink pen.
I'm kind of thinking about starting a pen company now. I want to be the best pink pen.
no.
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's just whatever you want to do in life. Whatever you want to do is the pink pen, right?
No,
Like,
it's
just
so
passionate.
true. It's so true.
Yeah, I guess both of your careers are very terrifying careers to the average person. Like you're saying, you didn't know how you were going to make this happen, but you made this happen. And same with yourself,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So does that just come from like intuition and totally
Yeah.
trusting in yourself?
I would say I have two examples. I'm like, if you think about it, like on a run or like in the shower, or if you're wanting to pitch it to your friends, like having wine or whatever, and you're excited and jazzed about it, or Googling things that you know nothing about, but say you're going to open a cookie shop and you know that you're going to have to get some permit, and you're like, you don't know anything about permits, but in your off time, you're looking and trying
Yeah.
to figure it out. I think if you've got that itch, and like it would disgust you to see somebody else
Yeah.
do that instead of you, and in your city or in your area, or if you know that there's a needy, like I think you definitely need to do it. And then just believing that you can do it, even if you don't know what you're doing, but like you want to do it before anyone else. Or if you believe, like he had a talent where I created just something random, so it's different. But for his, you really do have to believe in yourself at least somewhat to give it a shot,
Yeah.
and not comparing yourself to others. But I think it's healthy to look around and be like, okay, they're great, but I can do this too, and like just
Yeah.
have a worth,
Oh, amazing.
and just throwing yourself into it.
Yeah,
Like,
somebody was asking me what inspires my music, and it's a pretty broad question, but I just write music that inspires me. And so if I don't like it, why would
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Maybe that's selfish. A lot of artists are totally different, but I write music and I write songs that I would want to listen to.
Yeah.
And that's why when somebody says, hey, I like this song, it did this to me, or it made me feel this way, I'm like, that's exactly how I felt when I wrote it. It's like really special, right? That we have that connection now. Yeah, I think you just got to believe in yourself first, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just to give yourself way more credit. I think the most I've learned over the last 2 years with trying something new, when it is a new territory, like opening a clothing shop and you've never done that, or going into a new space of work. If your ideas are powerful, get advice from some people, but some people just love to talk and give you advice, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always the best.
Yeah.
So just get advice from the things if you really need it, especially like obviously like legal and stuff like that for sure, but like the random uncle and whatever, like you do not need Uncle
No.
Mike to believe in you.
Totally. Also, I think just naturally in family dynamics, like I have a family, we're all super close, but everyone's always wanting to give each other advice on
Yeah.
whatever new venture we're doing. And naturally in a family, you fall back into the family roles that you were given. So
Yeah.
if you were the dramatic one, you start feeling like, oh, I don't know, I'm the dramatic one. And so if you're not trusting yourself and your intuition, there's a lot of space to then just tell yourself, ah, it's fine. I actually don't need to do this and fall behind.
Yeah.
But also in that, you can start a clothing shop, whatever. But then when things get hard, how do you guys pull yourselves up? I know you lean on each other.
Day by day. We've had a season in the last year we went through a month because we're in a bachelor, well, at least for my job, his job is different. So we've got two different careers going on, but we go through a bachelorette season where every show is sold out for the Ranch Hands Cowboy
Mhm.
Les. Every weekend is sold out. And then come December where we are like trying to get people just in the doors. And so we went through something not too long ago, a couple months ago. And so it's just like day by day and not looking at the big picture and what is something you can do. He told me, he was like, what is something you can do every day? You can post, go on your social media, you can go pass out flyers, like always go back down to the bare bones. Get off.
Lexi's always has to be doing something,
Mhm.
and like it's hard for her to turn her brain off, right?
Yeah.
And so during Christmas break, it was really hard for her because nobody was doing anything.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks of just like there's nothing to do.
Hated it.
We didn't
Yeah.
have shows, like we didn't have anything. There was
Oh,
nothing to do.
yeah.
And so I was like, literally take the next 2 weeks and post one video on Instagram
Yeah.
and exercise one time a day, do things that you have control over.
Yes.
And that's been my biggest thing the last year is just like, what can I control? Because there's
Yeah.
so much in life that you can't. And I have struggled like very much in the last year. Like I haven't been on the road and I see all these people around me like doing all these incredible things.
Yeah.
And that's what you said earlier is like, we're on social media. Like, you can see what everybody's doing.
Yeah, it's
And
hard.
it's so easy to
Yeah.
like, you know, when I first moved to Nashville, someone's make sure you always keep your blinders on, which are blinders on a horse. It's like,
Yeah.
don't look to the side, just look straight ahead
Yeah.
because it's so easy to look side to side and see what everybody else is doing and get
Totally.
disappointed.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Jake, my husband, he's part of the Instagram world of photographers, famous photographers that
Yeah.
have 1 million+ followers, whatever. And it's so funny because I'll see him start to shut down. Like, I don't want to take photos. And it's because he's seen other friends that we
Yeah.
have that are out there
It's so
on
easy to
crazy
do.
trips. Yeah, exactly. But then again, I feel like all of this is bringing it back to who are you? What is your authentic self? And dive into that
Yeah.
and just be okay with that because that's what sets you apart.
And just what's his specific photography? What is
Like
he?
landscape.
Landscape
Yeah.
stuff. So it's easy to look at the guy out taking surf photos and be like, God, he's in Tahiti right now.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Look at his life.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't really know if he's in a shack
Doing
with
that
like
for free,
well,
right?
like or he's like in Tahiti in like a shack with some homeless people out there, like,
Yeah.
barely, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You could
Like,
be miserable.
like,
Yeah.
you just never know.
You
But
never know.
that's been my biggest thing this year is just like making music because I'm from Arizona. I went to high school in San Diego.
Yeah.
Making West Coast country, being
Yeah.
authentic to myself. And
Totally.
it's been really like freeing
Yeah.
of that's the only way I can describe
Yeah.
it.
Well, and everyone's got a different story. And I think that's why we like love docs and stuff so much. No one's gonna, if that happened for one guy on how he got his job in Tahiti, it's not gonna happen the same exact way. I think of everyone's got a different timeline, and some people get lucky as heck, and their first year is a golden year, and then they're just the rest of their career, they're trying to outdo that first because they
Mhm.
didn't work hard enough for it. Or you've got the Harrison Ford who's worked 10 years and then finally gets a role. Like
Yeah.
everyone's got their path and journey, and you've got to love whatever you're doing enough to hang in there for to wait for your timeline.
Yeah. No,
So-
absolutely. What has been a really pivotal shift for you? I know, to give an example, my pivotal shift was 2 years during COVID when everyone was super distracted in the office
Yeah.
and they're like, do whatever you want, Marie. And I just went crazy with ideas. But since then, I feel like I have more confidence in myself or whatever. Do you guys
Yeah.
have moments like that?
Yeah, I would say TikTok. We were like probably some of the first people not to get on it, but it was when people were like, "Oh God, everyone's watching these kids dance
Yeah.
on this app," and it was just like we've got nothing else to do. Like we were finally building somewhat of a following on social media, and it was just fun, and it was people all in a depressing time
Yeah.
turning off and watching Tiger King videos.
Yeah.
Like it was so dumb, but it was just letting go of the regular plan and just saying, "Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck it." You know what I mean? We've been in our pajamas all day. Who are we trying to prove? Let's do something dumb and fun. And so I think just jumping all in, because I've never done that before, like on an app or a platform or even posting on anything. I've never really jumped all in and gotten excited about new. And that was just TikTok was a huge turning point.
Yeah.
for us when we downloaded the app.
Oh,
And
for sure. There's been so many different people and things that have fallen into place in my life, turning points. But I think even bigger than turning points is allowing yourself to receive those turning points. Because some people are like, they get these opportunities and you see it. Like, I see it all the time. Like, man, this is such a great opportunity. Like, I would give anything for this. And
Yeah.
then they don't maximize it, or they don't appreciate it, or they
Yeah.
haven't been through enough struggle to really understand like how big of an opportunity it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like when an opportunity comes to me now, I'm like, thank you, God. Like, I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for it and like willing to accept it.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest I wouldn't say turning point, but my greatest achievement is failing so many times.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
No, that's huge. Yeah,
I've
that's
failed
Yeah.
so many times and I've been told no so many times that it's been my greatest asset now.
That
yeah,
is
you're like numb to it and you just freaking go for
Yeah,
it.
because I just don't care
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't.
that's awesome.
It's
Wait,
kind
so
of scary though.
wait, can you touch on that? I feel like people see country music stars, any star, and they're just like, oh, they just got here. They just like
Yeah.
they just arrived. Like they are just that amazing. So of course they're gonna be famous
Yeah.
and successful or whatever. But what were those failures like?
I'll tell you one specifically that was crazy. I had just signed with Thomas Rhett and I signed to his publishing company, and Scott Borchetta, head of Big Machine Records, I would love to take a meeting with you. So we go into the meeting. It was awesome. And then he left the conversation at, it's a foregone conclusion. Those are the words he said. It's a foregone conclusion that we're going to sign you. Oh, okay, dope. I'm going to be with Big Machine. Awesome. He goes, we
This
just
is
want you to
massive.
play. We want you to play for the staff. So like I
Wow.
bring my band in.
Pause. This is the guy who found Taylor Swift. They're
Oh,
not on
shit.
good
Okay.
terms anymore, but for
Well,
anyone who doesn't know
Yeah.
country music, he created Taylor Swift. Yeah, there's been some drama since then, but that's his
He's
name
like
in
the
town.
guy, you know what I mean?
He's
So-
the guy.
So
I
if he
thank you for
says
clarifying
yes,
that, 'cause
yes.
yeah.
So yeah, so I leave that meeting. I'm just on a high. He's like, we want you to play for the staff. So I go in and I play for the staff, and it was like 30 people, and I thought I killed it. I probably didn't at all. It was probably bad. I had my whole band and everything, but little did I know, what's the guy's name?
Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun.
Oh, Ariana Grande.
Scooter
Don't get me
Braun,
started.
he's
Justin
in the
Bieber.
yeah, he's in the
All the
audience.
docs.
And I had no idea. And my band's freaking out. They're like, is Scooter Braun here? What's going on? So it basically what happened is he bought Big Machine, or he bought like a majority of it. And so in the midst, and I still don't know what happened. I could have totally sucked, but I think it was just like he bought Big Machine and they just were making a ton of changes.
Yeah.
And so I just got like, forgotten about, and just
Oh.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear anything. And
Oh
so
my-
for the next few months, they were like doing this huge, massive deal. And I'm like, what the heck? Things like that have happened. But now I look back and I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it happened for a reason. So,
yeah.
but there's been a lot of stuff like that. Just, I have no explanation for why it didn't happen,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad it didn't.
Yeah.
And I think for Nashville, I kind of saw this in LA, but LA, you've got your actors, your filmmakers, your directors, your fashionista. But
Yeah.
Nashville, I see it too when you go out to a bar. Everyone is a singer songwriter.
Oh,
Everyone.
wow. Yeah.
90% of everyone you bump into, hey, how are you? And
Yeah.
everyone's good, which is
Yeah.
great. And somebody's playing on stage. It is like, talk about trying to put on your blinders. I
Yeah.
can only imagine, because it's like constantly, it'd be like me being in a city full of people running a shirtless cowboy show. That
Yeah.
would be like exhausting.
So now that you're saying that, it actually,
so overwhelming, and I would quit.
it makes me actually realize, I think, why I wanted a record deal so bad. It's like, everybody is a singer songwriter, but if you're like signed to Warner, you're signed to Sony, it's okay, they're legit because the company believes in them and it separates you from the pack. So I think at
Credibility.
the end of the day, that's probably why I wanted a record deal so bad. But being independent has given me so much freedom and given me the ability to create my own path and be my
Yeah.
own artist. And now there's a ton of independent artists that are doing massive things in
Mhm.
Nashville. And I definitely wasn't me to take credit for it, but I was one of the first independent artists
Yeah.
to break away and be like,
Mhm.
you don't need a label to do this. Like,
Well,
you can do a lot on your own.
That's awesome.
And once you do break away financially, it's crazy. Once you do hear about an offer or whatever, it's like, why would you take that? Because when you're independent and you get lucky and have a massive song, I am not going to take that chump change, if you will, just
Yeah.
to sign a paper.
No,
It's crazy.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially already with technology, again, what am I 50 saying that? But on TikTok, whatever, you can be your own promoter and
Yeah.
own manager, if you will. I don't know if manager is the right word, but
Kinda,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can create your own destiny. And now people like genuinely care about the realness. And Lexy has been a freaking just genius with TikTok because she knows she's a fan herself of videos and stuff like that. So she
Yeah.
knows what she likes enough to be like, people are gonna like this.
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna like our house. They're gonna like the shirtless cowboy show because it's not raunchy, it's clean, and this
We
is
have
what
different body
this is
sizes.
what
It's fun.
Oh,
It's
that's
funny. Yeah,
awesome.
it's
like, this is
cool.
what women want. It's like a
Totally.
Broadway. I describe it as like a Broadway show. You know,
Okay.
Vegas has all these
Yeah.
shows. It's like a Cirque du Soleil in Nashville without all
Oh.
the sword sawing.
It's not quite. It's more comedy than
swords.
people like
Yeah.
flying through the air.
Yeah.
Like a drag show a little bit.
It's like that mixed with Broadway, like the full dance number. They're not just coming out one by one solo.
Yeah.
We have 9 guys all like Rockette style doing dances together
Oh my
and
gosh.
stuff like that. And then we have a lot of country singers on the staff, so they come out and sing and perform
What?
and dance. So it's super. Girl, we got to get you to Nashville.
I know. I love.
Seriously.
Hey, I'll go anytime. I love
It's
Nashville.
really fun.
And can you talk about your TikTok? It's serial tipping.
Yeah, so we had the Airbnb went bonkers, and so I was getting a little bit of traction on my TikTok page, and there was this thing going around called the Venmo Challenge. People were like crowdfunding on Venmo to get a new car or help with student loans, and
Yeah.
one girl was raising money for a nose job, and I was like, there is no way people are gonna send spare change. And sure enough, this is back when TikTok there were only a few creators, so she kept popping up on my feed updating people about her nose job fund, and I was like, this is crazy. And it's just unbelievable, the internet. But I was like, I'm surprised no one's paid it forward. And my birthday was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I know it's different in California, but we opened up for phase 2 in May.
Okay.
And my birthday was in April. So I was like, when we open back up in May, I want to go out, and I love my birthday. So I was like,
Yeah.
I want to go celebrate my birthday. And I was like, I'm going to do this Venmo challenge thing or whatever and raise money for a server because I was a server and tips are amazing. And
Yeah.
going back to work after however many weeks off they had, I didn't know if they were excited. And this was when people were still super scared too.
Yeah.
Like, are they scared to go back to work? So I did the Venmo challenge and put a twist on it, and we raised like $3,000. I
Wow.
think we raised money for a little over a week or something. So we went to 3 places and did a little over $1,000 a tip.
Oh.
And then people were like, keep doing it because TikTok videos show up later on. And so we did a few rounds. And then with that, we had a couple go mega viral. And like the next morning, we'd have like 18, 20 grand in a Venmo. And I was like, oh my God, I've got to keep tipping. And we had one tip where we tipped a guy. It wasn't at a restaurant, but he was playing the violin and it was something for his mom's rent, and sweet kid. So we tipped him $1,000, but I think he was a gypsy. We didn't really know the full story, but
Yeah.
it was really cool. And his reaction was awesome. People loved it. And so I got his first name, but I didn't get his number. And so
Oh.
I had all these Venmos in my account, and I'm like, I can't just keep it. Like, we
Yeah.
got to go tip.
Yeah.
We got to keep it going. And so that's where it just serial tipping
Oh.
became a thing. So I was like, let's just keep splitting it up and all of this stuff. But it was nuts. And then 2020 was bananas. And then we've just slowed it down. So now I do one like about every 6 weeks because it's slowed down quite a bit. And I'm
Yeah.
not constantly on there like trying to raise money, but it's
Yeah.
just been so cool and just fun to do every once in a while. And most of them are random, but we just got this office over by this Dunkin' Donuts, and I was like, this lady is really sweet. And we've had a lot of servers since doing this, and I was like, I've got to just tell everyone I'm gonna do it for her
Yeah.
if it's cool with it. So it was really cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
That must be fun for you too.
Yeah, I'm the videographer.
Oh.
So I film it all. I edit the videos, and so
Oh.
I'm behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so
he's really good at
it's
editing.
been
great.
when we see it happen, we're like, oh my gosh, this is a good one. You know,
Yeah.
we're like, that totally sucks.
Yeah.
So
They
it's
didn't
like-
care.
yeah.
That's so
Oh,
funny.
Yeah, and we're like, oh no, add some like emotional music underneath it or
Yeah.
something. Because that was always my biggest fear is because I don't care about the reaction, but people are so crazy on the internet and mean. And so people will
Yeah.
be like, I had this big anxiety when we were really doing the tips was, oh my God, they didn't get or give a good reaction. They're going to get roasted. And then
Oh.
you feel bad because you're filming them while they're at their job.
Yeah.
And they didn't know it was coming. So I got really sensitive to that.
Oh.
But thank God nothing got crazy. But we did have a couple people.
Well, people connected with that because they're like, that's how I would react.
yeah,
right?
people were like, I'm
Oh,
such an
yeah.
introvert. And I was
Right.
like, thank God.
Yeah.
It's like,
They're just in shock. Like,
because it is pretty shocking too.
oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
Especially during COVID when you don't know what's happening. And then you're like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$1,000 tip? Random, but when is your birthday in April?
April 16th.
The 17th.
Nice.
Right after tax day.
Hey, baby.
Woo!
Everyone wants to party.
No way.
Yeah.
The best birthday.
I know.
Spring's out. The smell is right.
Oh.
Baseball season's happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really care about baseball season, but it's a vibe.
It's a good season. Yeah. Okay. So first question. Yeah, I guess it's like speed round. What would you tell your younger self?
Be patient.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's good.
Do everything.
Heck yeah.
Everything?
Everything that interests you. That like you have an inkling to do. Like just try it.
Yeah.
Because I could have been an Olympian, but I didn't try it.
See? Could have been the president.
See?
Okay. What do you think people are hungry for in regards to social media? What do you think people like to see?
Authenticity.
Humanity.
Perfect. Great. Okay. And then how do you write a song?
You need a red dress, a beer, and a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm just being a dick over here.
The first step is just an idea. I have a million song ideas in my phone, and so it starts with an idea, and then based on that, if it's like a happy song, sad song, you match the music to the vibe. It's kind of
Okay.
the best way I can describe that.
No, yeah, it makes complete sense. And then what's the hardest part about being a country music singer, and what's the hardest part for being an entrepreneur?
I would say the hardest part for me is not being from Georgia or the South, trying to fit in and just be real, make country music that I know,
Mhm.
make country music that is what you're hearing
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah.
just, I got to be different.
No, I love that.
It's good.
What's the hardest part about being an entrepreneur?
Being a boss of people for the first time. I'm a big people pleaser. I was the youngest of my brothers, and telling people that they can't do things that you would never think that you'd have to tell people that they can't do. Just being challenged and not being everyone's best friend, which is a new role for me, is definitely the hardest part.
I love that. I can relate to that. What has been the coolest moment of your careers or of your career? You can.
I would say my favorite so far was asking her to marry me on stage in front of,
Yeah.
I think it was like
No.
50,000 people with
What?
Dirk Bentley.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so
Yeah, that was my
cool.
favorite.
Yeah, that was epic. That was insane. That was like my favorite part of your career too.
But mine.
Probably seeing ranch hands sell out like multiple weekends like last summer was like insane. So it was multiple dates, but just a sellout show. Whenever there's a moment in the show where everyone stands up and like line dances, I cry. And
Oh.
even though it's to like Shania Twain and everyone's drunk, it's just emotional for me. And that and probably being on Ellen was just
yeah.
insane and so cool and something you don't even think of yourself were
That
just
last season too.
yeah, and it was her
Oh.
last season, and it was just surreal. And I hadn't been back to LA where we met in years, and then you go back to be on Ellen, and
Yeah.
for such a positive reason because so many people wanted to help a kid out, and I just got to be the messenger. It was really cool.
Yeah. It's like full circle.
Yeah, definitely.
And did you write the choreography?
I danced in high school and
Oh,
college, but
whoa.
I did not want to have to choreograph and do the rehearsals and everything. So
Yeah.
we hired a local gal in Nashville who
Oh,
does
awesome.
tons of music videos and stuff. Her name's Jordan Grace, and she's phenomenal.
Amazing.
She
Yeah.
did write the script though. And
Yeah, I
Okay,
did
that's
write
what
the
I was
script.
wondering. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thank-
having
thank
us.
You guys are
That was
here.
fun.